I have fun standing up here though, by the way. I like to have fun because it helps me learn.
We were talking about places to find properties.
Good. So, places to find properties, and the thing about that is while we're doing this, the team is growing at the same time. We getting new team members, which is dope. Curtis just became part of the team.
Oh, welcome.
He got his ICM and he's working on the funds for his
down payment for
the
what is it called?
what is AIT,
Okay.
right? He said he got to sell off some stuff.
We're selling off some stocks.
He's selling the stocks. He's selling stocks to buy into his real estate education.
Good investment.
Cool stuff, right? I know Kurt since we grew up on the same block. He's still on the block
Oh, wow.
out in Brooklyn.
38 years.
Wow.
Right, so he was, what happened was, it's a funny, well, we met again, our friend, his mom turned 80, and she had a party out in Brooklyn. So I was like, oh, I shouldn't go, I don't know, because I don't be going out. But I was like, you know what, my mom's passed, and his mom's is here. I'm like, you know what, instead of going to a repass, why not go celebrate life? So I made sure I went to this event to celebrate my friend. That's our friend. His mother's 80th birthday,
That's
right?
beautiful.
Isn't that?
It is. That's a
absolutely.
blessing.
It's a blessing.
Word.
That's why I made sure I was there. Because a lot of times, you know, our parents,
You don't get to.
you don't get
Gotta
to.
give them the flowers while they're here.
Yeah, right? So it's pretty cool. And while we was sitting, he just said, hey, you still do real estate? Then he had a story. Now he said, hey, you still do real estate? I said, bro, do I still do real estate? Of course. And then he had his story about his property and how, listen, and it's the word that everybody does. This is what he did. And I'm gonna show you.
Wait, hold on, Anthony. You see on that list what we said Walmart? There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Right? This is what he did. He took action. First, you know when I go over my thing, 1, 2, 3?
Right.
This is one of the things. So he took action first. Now I want to hear from him, like from taking action first. He went and he just bought a house, which is the same thing I did. I just went out there and bought a house. I got hurt. Now if you want to hear about his pain, I'm gonna let Kurt. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I mean, the one thing I am realizing is through this process is that the people that linked me into the brokers were just trying to make as much money. They capped me to the. I mean, I bought it at market rate, pretty much, almost. You know what I mean? It's right there, and they pretty much. They took me to the cap. I mean, at the limit. When they were crunching the numbers, I might have been approved by $1. You know what I'm saying? As far as my income and you know when they were doing all of that stuff. So you know, it helped me learn about you know being careful about nefarious people that know more than I do.
So stop. In that process,
Mhm.
when he's purchasing, there's real estate agents, right? Commission. So you got the agent, commission. You got a mortgage.
Yeah.
You got the mortgage person is also commission, MTG. Those are the two people that have incentive for the price of the house he purchases to be as high as possible.
Mhm.
Because the higher the house, the agent makes the most. The higher the loan, the mortgage person makes the most. So
Right.
go ahead.
Yeah. So okay. So I got into the property. The property was an empty shell. It was a one family. So
All right, stop again.
Okay.
He bought a shell. Basically, he bought it from another investor.
Investor,
Okay.
correct.
There you
Oh,
go.
this is not a personal property. This is an investment.
This
you
is
do.
his
Oh,
property.
Well, it's my property. It's supposed to be a personal property because it was a 203K with a
Okay.
you know,
Okay. So he
FHA.
bought it from another
I'm supposed to.
So he bought it from another investor. You see that? So all these people. So the investor, his incentive is profit.
Right.
Mhm.
So the higher he sells the property to him,
The more profit he
the
gains.
more profit. So all these people, right? The investor, the mortgage person, the agent,
All working in cahoots.
Right, they're not
Simulta-
even, they're working for
simultaneously.
themselves.
No, they're not doing it
But
together.
his
Well,
best
they
interest,
were working in cahoots. Yeah, they were.
Right,
Yeah.
but his
That's
best
what- that's
interest-
what it ended up being, yeah.
his best interest is not at hand. This is why we learn how to control our stuff, even against another investor, right? He sells them a shell at market price.
Yeah, end up being market rate after renovation costs, right? So once I pumped the renovation costs into, because I bought it at, okay, so say market rate is between 750, 800 in that neighborhood, right? I bought it at 490, but with the
Renovations.
renovations, I was approved for 255 in renovations, which the bank only earmarked 179. So they didn't release the complete 255 approved by HUD. They only released 179. So the number
So
is
did you
179.
get 179?
It's still not all of it because I haven't completed getting the drawers and the house is still not completed. The renovation.
Right,
is
the
still
bank is not going to
complete.
give you the money until they feel comfortable with what you completed, right?
How much did the bank give you so far?
That's a number that I have to go back and look.
So this
and
is
look.
2 or
I know
3K?
there's been 7 drawers. There's been 7 drawers so far. I have to crunch the numbers in.
Check this out. To know more about a 203K loan, the class, Understanding Mortgages, he talks about that. Right? This is a FHA, this is a Federal Housing Administration rehab loan.
Mhm.
I didn't know FHA do
That's what the 203K is.
That's what
I didn't know.
203K is.
So write it down in your notes. This is your section, Ricardo.
my
Everybody
I'm
get
not
a
worried
six.
about that, but I need a FHA.
Bro, you gotta know about this. You gotta know FHA rehab loan. That's the loan for people who are just buying a house, market,
Market.
that want to fix it.
Fix it.
FHA is now, because you know FHA loan is only 3.5% down.
Mhm.
If you
Right?
do, if you do
Correct.
HUD, if you do a HUD home, they have two or three eligibility listed as one of the.
Yes.
Now,
That was a HUD home?
Yeah, it was a HUD loan.
See that?
Well,
My
I don't know.
question
Yeah, it was a
I
yeah,
don't
it's a HUD
think
loan. Yeah, it's a.
It's a HUD loan.
I got it. I got the renovation through HUD. Yeah, it's through HUD. Yeah.
What's HUD?
Housing and Urban Development.
Housing, so you got FHA, Federal Housing
Here's a
Administration. HUD is Housing and Urban Development, right? So they want, go ahead.
now, my question to you is since it was, we know an investor had it first, right?
Yes.
My question to you, you know where I'm going with this,
Go ahead, I know, but go ahead.
and it was a shell. When he purchased it, it was still a shell. What happened with the investor?
Well, the investor didn't purchase it as a shell. The investor purchased it and demoed it, and then sold it as a shell.
Oh,
Right.
on the new, as the new property.
Right.
Right. Now, what do you think happened with that investor?
Well, what happened? He made his profit.
Right.
But-
Bid on them,
That's
and they're like.
right. But
We have to see funds. Yeah.
what happened, I know this because I used to work in the mortgage industry.
So go ahead.
And I knew I wasn't going to be there long because I'm an ethical person. So he probably didn't want to dump any more money into it.
Probably.
Either that or he probably ran out of money.
That too.
That's true.
Possible.
Because if he could make
Now,
more
here's-
profit on it, he would have never sold it to.
Right. Now, here's the
Right.
thing. Let me tell you. Let me explain how really like draconian. Like he was really a nefarious dude, right? So he was a licensed contractor, right?
Mhm.
He was a licensed architect. He was the architect that drew up the plans for the house. He wanted to be the contractor on the job after the closing.
Yeah.
You know, now, now here's the thing. Now me being green and not knowing anything about real estate and the people that I was dealing with who introduced me to this deal were supposed to be looking out for my best interests, and they didn't seem to see anything wrong with this, right? But the guy lied. He told me and the bank he had permits in place, right? There were no permits in place. I learned all this after I got him off the job, right? Because he didn't put a nail in the wall for 6 months. So, he basically told us he had permits. Once I got him off, I had to hire an architect because now I'm diving into it and I'm starting to like, well, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And I'm looking at it and I look at the plans on the closing docs, and it's only demo plans. It's just a blank square. You know what I mean? So I don't have the plans. So now I don't know if there is plans. So I have to hire an architect. You know, so I hire an architect. The architect goes down to the building department and figures out, okay, there are plans on file. So, but you can't get permits because there's a lien on the house from 2011.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Back in 2011, this predates this owner that sold it to me. I don't, how did this lien pass through two owners? I have no idea.
Through title.
Through title,
Yeah,
but
but
they
the
don't have
title
to
is
do a
supposed to
title
be,
search.
right, the
They
title
don't-
is supposed to be
Right,
clean.
right.
Right, and I was told by a lawyer, you were receiving a clean title. You know what I mean? So it turned out not to be true, and I.
Wait. That's not possible.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it happened, brother. $3,200 I had to pay to clear up the fines because the owner in 2011 was trying to transfer from oil heat to natural gas without a permit and got caught.
And that's
And
And you bought the house
We need that lawyer name so I
With-
can blast his ass.
Right, with the $3,200 lien on it. So in order to get permits, I had to pay a $3,200 lien just to get the permits to get the job started. This is after I ran through two contractors, the first original one I told you about, and another one who was just another ass. And then I got somebody who actually, you know, was able to help me figure it out. You know what I mean? So this third contractor, I put him on the job, but he's telling me, oh, I need more money to do this job. I need 226. Right now, I know 255 is in there, but I don't know if the bank is going to actually release any more than that 179. You know, so we put in a bid. The bid was he put in a bid. The bid was approved, but then my renovation specialist left the company for the bank. She left the bank.
The person who gave you the first
The approval that not the first loan, that approved the new contractor at 226. She approved the new contractor at 226, right? Then she left the company and they put a new renovation specialist on the job, and the new renovation specialist is telling me, I don't see anything here, no documentation here that he was approved at 226. I don't know why this number is here. Why you got to go by the 179. You know what I mean? So now I'm back. I get knocked back down to 179 for renovation, and now I'm at odds with my contractor. You know, so now I'm dealing with a bunch of things that, you know, here where I'm trying to, you know,
Here's what we can
navigate
do.
the
Let's
situation.
find out how far deep you're in the 179.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
going on.
So
I can
that'll
do
be
that.
the first question.
Yeah.
Find that out. Let me know
Mhm.
where you at with here,
Okay.
right? And then we could work on getting the rest of it done
Right.
from this point.
Right. I could probably
You
work
got
that out in a few
receipts or-
minutes. Yeah, I get whenever I do the whenever I do a draw request, I get it's in my email, so
To
I just
get
have to go through those.
The 179 is all cool, but to get the job done, how much is it going to cost?
Well, he's gonna be around here. He's
It's
talking
gonna-
this. You talking about a house with 200,000 in renovation, almost.
Right, because
No, I got it. Is that gonna that 179 is gonna finish the whole project? You think?
That's what I'm trying to
No.
figure out now. That's what I'm trying to figure out now, because the other thing is the guy who
What's
who-
left? How about that?
It's about 3/4 done. So the plumbing, electrical,
Fixtures.
yeah, it needs fixtures, it needs sheetrock, and it needs some a little bit of plumbing work.
All right,
to
you gonna-
finish. When I
So you got the
when I
court
was
stuff
going
done,
through
right? You
it,
got the
yeah,
court work done.
when I was going through it, they discovered there was no water main. So the water main had to be they had to reinstall a water main. But you know that's a job, right? So they tasked the city to do it. And the city charged $10,000. Another thing, I just received a water bill for $7,000,
Because
right?
the water was running.
Not because the water was running, because whoever was the previous owner never gave them access to the water meters. There was no water meters because there's nothing there. It's an empty shell, right?
So the whole
but they
thing-
never gave them access.
Right.
So now they're finding them because they don't have access to a water meter
this
that's
clear
not even
title
there.
thing is a
You know
big
what I'm
question.
That's a big question.
That's
That
a big
shit we never
question.
have